Hello everyone and welcome to episode 5. We've got an exciting episode today. We've got catching up with Clayton and Peter. We've got a sexologist on the show talking about sex and sexuality, and Clayton is something really disgusting. What's up guys? How you guys been?
It's good to be back.
Yeah, nice to be back.
Thank you for sticking through with 5 episodes.
I'm honored to be here.
It's been fun.
Yeah, really good to have you. Tell me anything in news in your life? Anything spectacular happened?
I've been playing this Russian game called Escape from Teacup. I've been learning bits and pieces of Russian because they speak Russian in the game.
Okay.
One of the terms is chiki-briki or chiki, which means to cut off a finger.
Oh wow, that's what like Vladimir Putin does to Russians who...
True.
Okay,
true.
okay, I get you.
The other one is dava, is when you call someone over. You say dava.
Oh, okay.
I just got a little bit scared there.
Dava.
And what is the other? There was another term I can't remember. Yeah, and it's been a really good game. It's something that's different. I'm used to playing Western games, so something coming out of Russia has actually been.
And under like lockdown 4, it's obviously keeping it's good company.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been good. One thing we've done under lockdown is I've introduced Megan to the Marvel MCU, which has been.
And whoa, as in she never knew what the Marvel MCU was prior to you introducing.
Megan has never seen an a movie in the whole MCU kind of saga.
Shocking.
The trouble with this whole thing is we're now watching these movies with the pinnacle, the apex of the male physique and form. You know, all these superheroes have bits and pieces that I didn't even know existed. And I mean, the problem is now, like looking at this and looking at, like, I figured I need to go back to the gym.
Oh wow, because Megan's seeing this and then she's seeing you. And,
I just look like a bowl of beans.
Beans, what the?
Well, today on the show, fortunately, you can get some counselling from the guest we have. So, moving on to our guest, Andre.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
It's good to be here, Tyron.
Yes.
It's good to be with you. I think, is this the 6th episode?
This is the sex episode. You definitely need to help Clayton on his insecurities about his body's.
No, I understand.
Andre, what have you been up to lately around sex and sexology?
I have been doing a bit of counselling, been doing a few workshops, been doing some studying. I'm doing my master's in sexology. I'm not a sexologist yet, so let's just clarify that.
But you're a master of sex.
I'm a master of sex, so let's leave it at that, shall we?
Andre, I have it on, I think we all know this, but the most common asked question is, why did you study sexology and stuff like that? But I want to know, what is the question you wish you were asked the most?
I think the question I'd love to be asked is how to have better sex. Yeah.
My question is like, what is sexuality and how is it different to sex and gender?
Okay, so this is about getting terminology under our belt.
Yes.
All right, we've got to really start understanding what these things mean. Okay, so we've got to understand gender differentiation happens in the womb. Okay, when you are born, you have gender definition. You're either a boy or a girl. Okay, if you have both parts, you are intersex.
Intersex.
Right? We've got to understand these terms.
Yeah. What's the...
The old term was hermaphrodite.
Hermaphrodite, basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're intersex if you have those. So that's in terms of your primary characteristics, the outside pieces, okay? They tell you, all right? Then when you're 3 years old, okay, you actually decide I'm a boy or I'm a girl. And that is gender identification.
Sorry, so you're saying at the age of 3
Yep.
and before?
Yep.
Okay, you actually making choices that are unconscious?
They're conscious.
Are they
You say, I relate to other boys because of my genitalia and because of what they do. Okay. Or I relate to girls. Okay. And I say, I am a boy or I am a girl.
Because of what they do?
Yeah. Okay, no, well, not only, but because I see what I have and I see what they have.
Okay.
All right?
And so is this happening like in the home, in the playground, in...
All over the place.
Okay.
And that's why you start realizing why we can have problems that we're unaware of. Because even before the age of 3, things can happen for a child to say, at 3, I'm questioning whether I'm a boy or a girl.
Can you give us an example of something that might have happened before the age of 3 that makes you question?
Well, obviously there's abuse, which is very sad.
Sure.
Okay. There would probably be some gender issues if there was gender role struggles in the home or anything like that, where a child just can't relate to it. Stereotypical gender behavior sometimes becomes very difficult for creative boys and for girls that like doing mechanical things.
Sure.
So how do they cope? And where do I fit in? Okay. If there's a problem at that age, okay, they call it androgyny. Okay, terms. Okay. So I'm a boy, I'm a girl at the age of 3. If there's a problem, it's androgyny. Okay. When after 3 years old, between the age of about 3 and 7 years old, a child starts developing his gender role.
And is this where stereotypes fit in?
This is where stereotypes fit in, but now we've got to be careful because the terminology here is masculine or feminine. Not boy-girl, not male-female.
Okay.
It's masculine or feminine. And our masculinity and femininity is determined by our culture and our society.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
Okay? It's not a physiological concept. It is it's psychological and it is cultural. All right, so, and this is where you have your gender stereotypes and people trying to work out where do I fit in, because now how do I live as a boy? How do I live as a girl? How do I cope with what is expected of me? And so then you get people saying, well, actually, I can't cope with my role, therefore I can't be what my genitals are saying.
Oh.
Okay, and therefore I must have a problem.
Is this where the experimental age or the experimental phase?
Okay, so between the age of 5, from about 3 until 7, then up until puberty, it's very experimental. All right, and we've got to be careful with the way that we respond rather than react to those experiences, because that can actually affect people's understanding and whether I fit in or not. Okay. The problem there, if a person feels I'm not masculine or feminine, then they are outside of cultural norms. Okay, so remember it was intersex at birth. Okay, it's androgyny at 3 years old. And then it's outside of cultural norms, all right, when it comes to whether I'm masculine or feminine. Right, but this is so important for us to realize because so many people don't understand that they're struggling with the cultural issue, not a physiological issue. Okay. Then we go into puberty, and now we get to gender orientation. Now be careful here. It's gender orientation. It's not sexual orientation.
Okay.
Okay. So gender orientation is saying I'm attracted and tend to be aroused by a certain gender.
Okay.
Okay.
That you've chosen.
That I've chosen. But it's gender. Okay?
Yeah.
After that we have sexual preference, which includes sexual orientation. Who am I going to have sex with?
Okay. Who are you attracted to in that gender?
Well, that's gender orientation is who I'm attracted to. Okay. And what attracts me in which gender?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's really important to realize that our gender orientation and sexual orientation only settles in early 20s.
Oh wow.
Okay? And so we've got to be so careful when people that are young come to us and say, I'm gay, I'm this, blah, 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 blah. Okay, because actually we've got a whole lot of psychological stuff as well as cultural issues out there that we are trying to work out to decide this is who I'm aroused by, okay, and then to eventually make the decision, this is who I'm going to have sex with.
Yeah.
All right.
On that note about like reaching puberty and stuff, what is the ideal situation that one could be raised in to deal with the whole issue of puberty and growing up? So what is a healthy sexual environment and being raised in that environment?
Oh my word. So that would be where...
And can we ever get there? Sorry to jump. Can we ever get that right as parents one day?
I believe that we can, because everything is fallen, but everything is redeemable. Okay, so in a fully redemptive environment, okay, parents would not be sexually broken.
Okay.
And they'd understand that they've spoken to their children about what's going to happen to them before it happens.
Okay.
All right, so there wouldn't be all of this fear and this scariness and this shame that many parents have. And then they try to speak to their child and they say the biggest load of rubbish because they're so scared about what they've got to say and they're so ashamed of what happened to them. Okay, so in this perfect environment, parents would be absolutely fine with the fact that when it came up, it worked well and it was marvelous, all right? And when me as a girl, when I started having vaginal secretions because I was aroused in some ways, it was actually not shameful.
Sure.
Okay, and so that could be spoken to with the child going through puberty, and understanding that firstly we must celebrate what we have.
Yeah.
Okay, and then to know, well, there are actually healthy places where we talk about it,
Yeah.
where we experience it, okay, and with whom we experience it.
Sure.
Okay, and so that for me is the key.
Now, I've got a vivid memory of my brother Tyron and our cousin Mitchell in a family gathering where they walked in unannounced, full in women-clad clothing with socks for boobs and everything. Now, is that normal sexual behavior?
I hope I turned out alright.
Is that the right environment for that to take place?
Okay, so we'll clarify some terminology here. Is that normal sexual behavior? It wasn't sexual.
It was entertainment
it-
for the family.
Is it normal gender expression? All right. It was them having fun with another gender.
Yeah.
This was
Alright.
last year, by the way.
Okay.
No, this was when we were young, not even teenagers.
Okay, no, but that's fine. So one's got to realize that if that happens, man, let's have fun.
Yeah.
That's such a good point. Like, how many times, you don't have to confess, but how many times did you play with your mom or sister's makeup growing up? I did.
Okay, yeah.
Put lipstick on, put makeup on, go through, show mom
I
and
didn't
dad.
quite put on the makeup, but I
no.
did put the socks. And I did those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But I have dealt with young guys that love putting on makeup. And there's an incredible artistic gift that they have and that they see on people's faces
Yeah.
that none of us probably see.
Sure.
And they have this incredible capacity to draw that out and make them look more beautiful. Now, what's wrong with that? Come on, man.
Yeah.
And are we going to say now that they are of a different sexual orientation? That they can only have sex with men now? And I think this is where it all goes a bit...
Culture's prescribing,
Yeah.
culture's prescribing their result, not them themselves.
It's a stereotype.
I assume what's difficult there is then when if the parents come down hard on them, then all of a sudden there's confusion. I'm not supposed to be like this, whereas that's who I am. Sure.
Going back to what is the ultimate parent? One that hasn't experienced shame.
Sure.
One that has been able to, and this normally happens between the age of about 7, between 9 and 12, where children are given the freedom to go and play with anything,
Yeah.
all right, and not be judged
Okay.
according to what they like.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, so in the perfect realm, you know, girls can play with trains, boys can play with makeup, and they would not be judged. But their gifting and who they are as a man or as a girl can just be drawn out in
Celebrating.
what they're doing. You see, so that's the difference. Yeah.
I think you're touching on this on my next question quite a bit, but it is, why are there so many issues around gender in the world today? 2021, where we are. You don't have to take COVID into account or anything, but why are there so many issues and why has it become, I don't want to use the word fad because that dishonors it, but why has it become such an issue today?
I think that we've got this clash between gender role, which is culturally prescribed, okay, and gender identity. And people are saying that actually I do not have to live a certain way. We live in a time now where anything should go,
Yeah.
all right? And in some ways that is really positive.
Yeah.
I think in some ways people are finding who they really are and learning to express themselves in very healthy ways. And I think from my perspective, God wants that.
Yeah.
He wants all of us to develop a calling and a gifting and our specific gift set in a very healthy way. But when that does not actually fit into a prescribed stereotype, we have this clash then between masculinity and femininity, and if I am a boy or a girl.
Sure.
And then they start layering this clash onto what I am in terms of my genitalia.
One thing I want to ask is, in the previous episode, Clayton and Peter spoke about a place in Bulembu where people are affecting change in a broken society. Our society is broken in terms of sexuality, gender issues, and whatnot. So, and we want to have people on our show that affect change in society in the area that they've studied or that they're gifted or that they can help. So I just want to hear from you, like in a brief 1 minute, like what are you doing in society to help in this area of brokenness? Like I know you've mentioned counseling and stuff, but could you just be a bit more specific on some of the things you've engaged in? Have you, gone out to the deepest, scariest places to like really deal with the stuff? Scariest is kind of a weird term in this scenario.
Well, I think, my studies have taken me to the ugly parts of sex. And I haven't wanted to go there, but I felt if I don't, who will?
Sure.
So I do understand, and have heard and seen and had to read and look at the scientific understanding of why people would engage in certain kinds of sex.
Yeah.
And with that, I've grown in compassion, I think, above all. And I've also just realized that everybody is sexually broken. There's no person on this planet that is not sexually broken.
Sure.
And so that in many ways has just put even more of an onus on the fact, what am I going to do with this?
Okay.
All right. And so I'm really, my heart is to see people free and able to be congruent with what they've been given and happy to celebrate their sexuality, which is not only sex and it's not only their genitals. And so in that process, I do counsel. I also have a number of workshops. We've only got 2, but I'm trusting there'll be more sets of videos where we look at what is it to be a real man. And we just really ask simple questions of our experiences of masturbation, of sex, of what sexuality meant, of what it meant to be a man in this culture. And we look at lots of different cultures, and it's actually quite nice because we all just realize it was stuffed up. And while every culture has its gift, every culture has its fallen state. And we've got to be able to discern what is, from my perspective, a godly expression of what they can be. So so we've got a lot happening. We've got age-specific workshops, so dealing with raising sexually healthy 0 to 7-year-olds, raising sexually healthy adolescents. We have some workshops for young adults, as well as for some youth as well. And then we have date nights, where we do, encourage couples to have good sex and give them understanding of what that is, because many people don't know what it is, and every man thinks he's a Casanova and doesn't want to know, or doesn't think he needs to know, but he does.
Peter and I can vouch for,
absolutely.
we've both been on one of Andre's courses, and
Were you struggling now?
it was just,
We all are.
Yes.
thank you, Tyrone.
I've been rebuked.
But it was incredibly eye-opening, the depth that we went to into a lot of this material, and I believe there's even one that goes even deeper into the stuff. So I would encourage viewers to go onto the website, just see when these courses are out, and just commit to going through the stuff, which is incredible. It was helpful for me. I don't know, Peter.
I think for me what was very useful is we did the course on Zoom, so it was like an online thing with people from different parts of the country, which for me kind of like it was a bit more chill because I didn't know the people, so I could just be a bit more honest. And I think not being next to someone that you might know and try and or talk about difficult things, and maybe the way you structured it, Andre, is also a lot of questions. You do a piece of content and then you have questions around it, which is really useful. And I just felt that there was a real, almost like a camaraderie like built over the few days that we did it, and there was a real honesty and openness, and there was no pretension on like what you wanted to keep away or hide, and that was very useful for me because I could see 2 other guys who were in completely different, struggling with completely different things to me, but we could relate, and I could share a story that meant something to them, or their story really, shed some light on something that I was struggling with, which was really cool.
I'm just saying that I think in this case Zoom has helped hugely, because I think in this topic,
absolutely,
it's actually helpful to have a bit of a barrier. And people tend to share a bit deeper for some reason.
That's interesting.
When there's not that sort of like
Real love,
real closeness.
absolutely.
So that's been a real gift.
you were asking Andre where he goes, and I just triggered a memory. About 5 years ago, you took me to one of the prisons in Paarl, and it was such an eye opener. It was a really interesting experience, and we were teaching them around anatomy, like just the basic human body and what you have. And I just remember, I thought I was very clever. I knew the Zulu word for testes, so I mentioned amasendes, and all of a sudden, and you realize there's different cultures, and they were all like really shocked, and they said, "No, please, you don't say that. That's very disrespectful. You use the word potatoes." And that was just such an interesting moment for me.
Amazamba.
And it's the best word, okay? Because the testes, okay, no, let's just say the potatoes, okay, grow from the bottom up.
Oh,
okay.
No ways.
So if you look at the testes, all right, you have the vas deferens coming from the bottom up. So potatoes are good.
I'm just trying to catch a look at the women. We've got a creative team in the background. No, you can't see it on camera, but I'm just trying to have a look at all the women's faces right now.
It's like a meat and potatoes joke in this. Getting into the meat and potatoes of this conversation.
Well, we can talk about the lilies of the valleys and the
Oh, here we go.
Andre, what are the lilies of the valleys? I'm only joking. So I want to ask you a question you probably would deal with in a course, is how do I cope with my sexual brokenness? And I know it's deep.
Wow. I think firstly, one needs to be aware we are all sexual beings. We all have arousal needs as well as pleasure needs. And whether we are married or not, they are there. And if we do not take cognizance of them and learn to work with them, they are going to control us. So that's the first thing, okay? The next thing is that unfortunately there's so much abuse around us. Okay, and so I would really encourage you, if there has been abuse, you need to speak to somebody about it, because that unfortunately is also then going to probably magnify the arousal states that you're needing as well as pleasure levels. Okay, so where there's been sexual abuse, guys, go and find somebody, talk about it. As I said, all of us are actually sexually broken. So a lot of healing comes from just plain old good education. But there are spaces and times where we've gone into addiction. Okay, so porn addiction is a huge issue. Some sexual addictions are big issues. And so most of the time for me, where it's come down to is helping people to not sexualize their emotions. Okay, it's a big statement, but it's actually learning to become congruent with how I feel, knowing that I can cope with my feeling, that I can tame it, and that I can aim it in the right direction, without believing that if I don't feel confident, that I need to sexualize it and get complete relief just through sex. Okay, so, and that's a process that can be lifelong. I don't think we all get it right this side of heaven. And so becoming part of a community where you have people in your life that you can be honest with, and that can give you a good clap and say, hey, that's enough. All right. And that can help you with you being able to be really honest. Okay. And it's a both way thing. And so that all these things that are hidden, and hiddenness and silence creates shame, can now come out, and people can be honest with each other and really guide each other and be there for each other.
I think we can talk for the next 2 hours about this topic because it's so full, it's so heavy. I wouldn't use the word heavy, I want to use lighter words, but it's such a broad topic, and we can't have all the answers, but we can go on forever. So for the sake of the time of the show, we're going to have to stop it there. But I just want to ask you, like, in a one-liner, what is your take-home message in what you do?
That sexuality is natural, all right? Sexuality is natural. Gender, all right, is cultural. You must remember that it's really linked to culture. Okay, sex is worship. Whoa, weird. All right. It is always costing something, and it is always paying seed to something. All right. And basically, we've got to celebrate what we've been given, and know that there are healthy boundaries within which it can be celebrated. and it can be a joy.
Awesome. Andre, thank you so much. That was really informative. I mean, like, I don't even feel like I was doing it for like the viewers. That was very much for me. Like, just to hear, it's so interesting what you do and stuff. Now, I know for the next segment, Pete's got some awesome game for us, which is tasting some weird, funky stuff. So, yeah.
They're shaped like potatoes.
They are shaped like potatoes. Like the vast difference does that thing.
Whoever gets the crab. Hey guys, welcome to the game segment. I got this online and I thought this would be a really cool segment for us to take a look at. The game is called Double Dares. And we've got some jelly beans that seem very innocent.
So it's not the double dare game you play when you were young. I dare you to kiss this girl or nothing like that. Okay, just checking. That's double dares.
There's no girls on the table. Basically, you've got an innocent flavor like blueberry or mango or rum. I don't know if it's an innocent flavor, but rum, apple or chocolate or cherry. But we don't know which one. Okay, so there's two flavors. The one could either be mango or crab. So it's kind of like a yummy flavor or a disgusting flavor. And either rotten milk or rum, which is kind of nice, or it could be blueberry or toothpaste. This is really yucky. But there's no way of knowing unless you actually crunch down on the jelly bean to actually figure out what you have. So we're gonna do a bit of a roulette and spin the wheel and see what color we fall on. We're gonna spin the wheel. I've got a bowl here just for Tyron, and there's a bowl there for Andre and Clayton to share. And I'm gonna spin the wheel.
Who's going first?
Everybody goes at the same time.
Oh no!
Okay.
Hectic.
So whatever this lands on is the color you need to choose.
We must announce what we got.
Correct. Well, we'll probably see it on your face. Okay. So 3, 2, 1.
I don't.
Okay. So that's blue.
Blue.
So grab a blue one. It'll either be toothpaste.
1, 2.
Wait, what'll it either be? Toothpaste or blueberry?
2, 1.
This is so nice.
This is really nice.
Blueberry.
I got blueberry.
Oh, this is cool.
This is really good.
Okay. Clayton obviously got toothpaste.
Unlucky.
No, I got toothpaste too, but
No,
this is so cool.
I got
My
blueberry.
wife will love me.
You can kiss her. It's a real thing.
Yeah, you must try it.
So two out of three. Two out of three failed there.
That was really nice.
Let's go again. That's red.
Red.
So this will either be cherry or cough syrup. But not the nice cough syrup that you think. It's like the old school one.
Here we go.
Here we go. I got cherry.
Oh no!
I got cherry. It's nice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Get him some water, someone.
Oh,
Palate cleanse with the tea for. Oh, Andre, you're out of tea.
yeah.
It tastes like borstel.
There we go. That's the flavor they went for.
Cherry.
What is that, a brush?
That's Afrikaans.
Is it? Oh.
Borstel's a cough mixture.
I'm gonna go again. That is chocolate. So that's the brown one. So that's either spicy meat.
Oh, spicy meat.
Chocolate.
Or chocolate. Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck, guys.
Oh no!
Oh,
Clayton's like every
can't spit it up.
This is so gross.
It's so disgusting.
Where are you gonna put it?
We have to swallow it.
Did all three of you get the spicy meat one?
Yeah. It's actually ugly. It's
No,
really
man,
bad.
really?
It's bad, huh?
Why
You
would you do
chocolate.
this?
Okay.
Oh, the tea tastes bad.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Next one's green.
Green.
What's that a combo of?
So this is either sprouts
Like Brussels sprouts.
or apple.
This is not potatoes.
Or apple.
Or apple, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no!
Oh,
This Brussels sprouts bad!
No, Darren! No!
no,
I can't! Guys, I'm gonna vomit. I'm gonna vomit. Oh
Just,
no!
just down into the tea.
we living happily ever after.
I didn't think you would a gag reflex. Oh man.
That's very nice.
That was tasty.
What's your
That's my
problem?
first good one.
Oh, come on, man.
So you guys got apple.
Yeah. You guys get apple. Yeah. Guys, the
It
Brussels
tasted like cider.
My gag reflex is next level, guys.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, here we go. We'll Okay, this one is the orange one. This is either mango or the crab. Like
Okay.
shouts out, whoever gets the crab. Oh, thank you, Jin.
Let's get it out.
Andre, did you also get the crab?
Oh, come on, man.
Clayton, did you get the mango?
Yeah.
Tyron!
I'm sorry, it's so disgusting.
Tyron!
I'm sorry,
I
guys.
didn't think this is an innocent children's game.
Can I have a tissue, please? Oh, okay, what did you get?
This
Mango. It's nice.
This is mango home. No.
Did you get crab?
Yeah.
Andre, oh, you got water. I'm so sorry.
Is that
I'm so sorry, guys.
to put it off the table? Tyron, damn it. Should we go on?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be okay?
I'm fine. If I do vomit, it's your guys' fault.
really-
Inconclusive. This game is inconclusive whether it's good or not.
Surely we almost done.
Green
Last one is the white one.
white
This will either be rotten milk or rum.
No.
Let's do it, guys.
Yeah, it's easy for you to say. Rotten milk, rotten milk.
get the
rotten
rum?
milk.
Oh, rum.
Rotten milk.
I got rum. I got rum. Rum is so nice.
So it's just me.
Oh my gosh. You're rum.
It's rum.
Nice. Okay.
Hold on.
That was cool.
I'm just. There's no winner, but Tyron, you lose.
Where's the point? Was there a point system?
No. You just lose, because, oh my gosh, bro.
So sorry for the viewers. And my wife in the background. I'll kiss you later, babe.
I didn't think this was going to turn out like that. I thought it was just...
Hey, you didn't have to-
Thank you so much, guys, for this episode. It was so informative. Andre and the game, Peter, thank you. That was a good laugh, good times. So thank you everyone for watching episode 5. Andre, you touched on some big topics. Can you just quickly share how people can get hold of you or get hold of your material, your website, your socials, whatever?
Okay, so come to our website, which is sexualitymatters.co.za. Personally, you can just get me at andre@sexualitymatters.co.za, and then we do have an Instagram account, which apparently is Sexuality Matters, which is Sexuality Matters.
Thank you so much. We'll catch you at the next episode. You're taking me straight to a story where you and I,
Whoa. You and I.
we were sitting watching a movie with Peter at our old flat.
Yes.
And a cockroach pulls through. I'm not kidding. To all the watchers. Clayton and I, we were in our mid-20s, and we screamed like little girls.
I was also in my 20s.
And you also... I'm so sorry.
Damn it.
We're the same age. Sorry.